Good evening, a community of spouses. How are you tonight? I wanted to come on and share a quick word. It's actually something I've been dealing with for the past week. My children just started school back, and this was the first year where I felt like I am losing my mommy's card. Like, my children have grown overnight, seems like. And I'm trying to figure out, wait a minute, what happened? And so this evening's title for this broadcast is called Life is Too Fast. I know we have the saying always talking about life is too short, but life is too fast. So I'm a mother of two, and my boys have always been very, very close growing up. But it wasn't until this year where I noticed the gap, where I noticed that, okay, they are actually 4.5, almost 5 years apart. Like, it didn't really take place the prior years, but this year it finally like clicked. Like, okay, you have a son that's a sophomore now, and now you have a son that's in 6th grade now. And so it's like they are no longer going to be in school together anymore. And before you know it, it's going to be a wrap. And so the Bible verse I want to share with you this evening comes from Deuteronomy 30:19. And the reason I'm bringing this point up is because it gave me a different revelation on how to look at life. I know they say, live your best life. You only get one life. Live it this way, do this and do that or whatever. And that's like the little saying or whatever. But man, this hit me like, you don't have that much time. Your time is running out as far as being a mommy to these boys. Like, I will always be their mother, but like my say in their life is changing rapidly. So Deuteronomy 30:19 says, "Today I have given you the choice between life and death, between blessings and curses. Now I call on heaven and earth to witness the choice you make. Oh, that you would choose life so that you and your descendants might live." This Bible verse just reminded me that I have very I'm very limited with my time now. I'm very limited with the choices I make now. I'm very limited with the disputes I have, or with the disagreements that I have, or my time is limited on what I'm going to endure and what I'm going to be a part of, because life is too fast. And I feel like I still have so much work to do. I still feel like God has invested so much in me, and I have to do my best work, and I haven't even started yet. And I've been praying that I have been the mom I'm supposed to be to my boys. And like, it is really getting to me that your boys are about to be grown and gone, and you don't have little boys anymore. Like, the other night, like starting school, I was telling them, okay, y'all come on, let's go to bed. Supposed to be to bed at 9 o'clock. And they was like, "Mom, it's 9 o'clock. And I'm like, like, I didn't even know how to speed it. Because it's like, really, you got a middle schooler who you don't have to really go to the bus until almost 9 o'clock. And then you have a high school, but yes, he had to get up early in the morning, but he's in high school. And so I say that to say this, especially concerning the marriage covenant. Like I said on previous videos, that marriage is the longest chapter in life, but we only have our children for a season. And so I was just reminded also how I used to, the weekends would come and I would spend all weekend cleaning and scrubbing and making sure the house was so perfect, and cooking and we'll wrap ourselves up with with ball games and taking just doing all kinds of stuff, just being very active and not being home. It was a lot of things that we have done, and it was like, come on, everything was like, come on. Now I'm like, oh my God, slow down, because life is too fast. and it would be over. You are always a mother, but your children are only with you for a season. And so I just want to encourage a wife or even a husband, to slow down, enjoy the day, look out the window. Don't get into little silly debates about stuff that you don't have any control over. Your patient level almost changes in a sense, like, I really don't have time for that now. It's almost like it's a shifting that takes place, because it's like, oh my goodness, like, I'm feeling like I'm losing control in a sense, almost. Not that I'm controlling my children, but a sense of my voice is going to, kind of like fade out in a few minutes, and other voices is going to fade, is going to start speaking up and be louder. And so I want to make sure that I'm impacting them as much as I can. Listen, if you have young kids at home, don't be like, oh my God, they driving me crazy, I can't wait, they're grown and gone. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because for a long time, this is the first year I felt it, where it was like, my kids are not babies anymore. Like, my kids are like getting on up there. For a long time I felt that. And even though they're not gone yet and grown and on their own yet, I still have some time with them. It makes a difference, because for a long time, they was those little babies. They was those little boys to me. They was just, I had to make sure you do this. We had to do homework. Now they do their own homework. They, they independent. They, they in their own rooms. I have to go in the rooms and get them now. Listen, as parents, we have to be intentional with our children. Life is too fast. Make sure you use that time. Yes, as a wife, I have a duty to my husband. I have a responsibility to my husband. As a husband, you have a duty to your wife. You have a responsibility to your wife. But as parents, we have a responsibility and a duty to our children. So don't take for granted those little moments where they want to come and, sit on your lap, or those moments they want to be up underneath you, or those moments that they want to, they value your opinion. One thing that I still adore with my oldest son is that he values my opinion. I'm like, I don't want to lose that. Like, what happens if my opinion in his life changes? Now, I don't want him to be a mama's boy, because, that makes it harder for the wife later on. I don't want to do that to nobody. But I want my opinion to still be valuable in his life. But that's changing. That would change eventually. And then my youngest son, he's so compassionate, he's so loving, and he want to hug you. And I'm like, oh my God, one day he's gonna take that and be somewhere else with another, with his wife or whatever. And that's part of life. So don't take for granted the small beginnings. Don't take for granted the kids sitting down at the table and them eating the hot dogs, and you cutting them up. And our dad, he used to make us triangle bread. That's something that we just always remember as children. Our dad he will put a meal together, and if you didn't have the triangle bread, listen, okay, you didn't have a meal by our dad. And so don't take for granted these moments. Do the activities, do the fun stuff, do the whatever the mommy daddy duties you're supposed to do. Go to the school, go meet the teacher, do all that stuff now, because life is too fast. One day you're gonna blink and you may feel like you're losing your parents' car. This year for the first time have felt like I've lost my mommy car, but I still got a little time, so I'm gonna not waste it on foolishness, and I'm going to take every moment I can. My prayer now is, Lord, let my voice be something that it don't just be something that just bounce off, but it be something that sticks to them, that they can say, oh, I remember when Mama used to tell us that, or I remember when Mama used to say that, or I remember when, like, now is the time. I know what they say now that it's good for parents to be home, not when they're necessarily small. Yes, you're supposed to be home with your kids when they're small too, but not necessarily small. But you definitely need to be there when they're getting older, when they're growing, because it's like, oh my goodness, I want them to hear their mom in their ear saying, doing the right thing, live this way, serve God. I want them to remember those things. And I also want them to remember, I remember mommy used to take us out on, son and mommy dates. I remember when mom used to take us out to the movies. I remember when mom and dad used to take us out on family vacations. Like those things, do family vacations, do family gatherings, do things, sit down at the table with your family and eat dinner. Don't take that stuff for granted, because life is too fast. A lot of people just think, oh, I'm just trying to get through. I'm just trying to get through it. And some days you just want to get through it, because some days that's just how it is. The seasons change, and some days you just like, oh, when is this going to be over with? But then a season will also come when you like, oh my God. Don't take for granted the times that you have with your young ones now. Life is too fast. Blessings.